Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. Big day today because we have the quarterfinals of the BHDL1. So, we're going to go ahead and get this battle on its way here. And this is going to be against Icy Dude. Now, we have not played Icy Dude in the BHDL here, but we have actually had some free games against him. So, this is actually our third match here on Scarlet and Violet. So let's take a look at what he has here. He's got the Garchomp. He's got the blanking here. Flamigo, there we go. He's got the Tyranitar. He's got the Grimmsnarl. He's got the Alomomola. And he's got the Annihilape. So, I am a little bit surprised, actually, by the fact that he brought the Flamigo. That's a little bit of a surprise. And he brought the Alomomola. That's a little bit of a surprise, too. So, surprised to not see the Hatterene, although kind of glad we don't see that. And surprised not to see the Hisuian Braviary, although, again, glad not to see that. So, we don't have much time to decide what to lead with here. I'm going to actually go ahead and... this is a tough one. Very tough decision. I think we lead with the... Pincurchin. I think we lead with the Pincurchin here because I have a little bit of a plan actually with the Pincurchin. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that and see how that works out. So high stakes here, obviously for us. Since we are in the playoffs now, it is win in advance or lose and be eliminated. That's the situation for everybody. So we're gonna give it our best shot here and see what happens. So, he is going to go ahead and lead with the Garchomp, which is pretty much worst case scenario, honestly, as we lead with the Pincurchin. So, we're going to go ahead and get the Electric Surge, set the Electric Terrain on the battlefield, which is good. And so, yeah, now, we have some pretty obvious switches out to the Garchomp here. So, I'm actually kind of tempted to stay in, because the switch into either the Orthworm or the Hawlucha, probably the Orthworm, is really obvious. So... I feel like he could also be a hazard stacking Garchomp. That's possible too. I really want to get a layer of Toxic Spikes up against this thing because I think that's going to be really useful against his team. So I feel like we have to risk it here, and we're just going to stay in and go Toxic Spike. We know he's going to outspeed us. He goes for a Stealth Rock, get the entry hazard up on us, kind of as expected, which is unfortunate because we don't have a way to get rid of that. There's not much we can do about that, as we are going to go for the Toxic Spikes, get that hazard up on him in return. So that's at least something. This turn, we definitely don't want to stay in again. We just switch into the Gastrodon here. I think that's our best move because I don't think we can do a lot to this thing in return with any of our other switch options. So we're just going to go ahead and switch to the Gastrodon because we do have quite a few moves we can hit this thing with, actually. So we got the Toxic Spikes up, which is what we want. So hopefully that'll help us out as we come in with the Gastrodon here. He is going to go for the Earth Power. That is really interesting. So he's got Earth Power on deck. So he goes for that. Doesn't do too much damage to us. So and we get some HP back with the leftovers. So he's got Rocks and Earth Power. So that is actually very shocking to me. I'm very surprised that he's got Earth Power on deck. So he definitely could switch here. He has good switches. He has some good switches here. The Ice Beam is really obvious. I kind of want to just get my hazards up because I feel like he probably doesn't stay in here because the Ice Beam is really obvious. However, if we could get rid of this thing, that would be really nice. So, as much as you know what, I think I am just going to Ice Beam, even though he probably doesn't. This is a really tough call. I don't feel like he stays in here, but at the same time, I'm just going to Ice Beam anyway, as we'll see what he wants to do. He does switch, so It's unfortunate, but I had to take the chance because that would have been great to get rid of that thing. So Alomomola comes in, kind of figured it would, and that thing is going to get poisoned off the Toxic Spikes, which is exactly what we want, as we are going to go for the Ice Beam. So that's not going to do much of anything to the Alomomola, a little chip damage. This thing is going to regain some HP with its leftovers. And then it is going to, we're going to regain some HP with our leftovers. So he gets leftovers recovery first, indicating I think he's going to be faster than us, actually. And then he is going to take some poison damage. So I'm not really sure what this thing can do to us. I mean, it could knock off. I kind of want to get my rocks up, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't want to lose the leftovers on Gastrodon. That's kind of the problem with that plan. I'm not 100% sure what Alomomola can do here. I kind of want to get my rocks up, though. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Stealth Rock here, see what he wants to do, as he's going to Baton Pass. So that's really interesting. So he's just going to pivot out with the Baton Pass. So he's got Baton Pass on there. So what is he going to pivot into here is the question. He's going to pivot into Annihilate. So that thing's coming in. Now it is going to get poisoned off the Toxic Spikes, which is great. We are going to go for the Stealth Rock, get the entry hazard up on him, which is really important. So that's always good. So we're going to get some HP back with the leftovers as well, which is nice. Now, we're in a tricky situation here because this thing, as it takes some poison damage here, can 100% have grass coverage on it. Now, whether he actually will have grass coverage or not is questionable, but he can have grass coverage, so that's obviously a problem. I don't know if I want to risk it or not. Gastrodon looks very useful for his team, so I don't really want to risk that he's got the grass coverage, but at the same time it's difficult because I don't want to give this thing a chance to set up. But I think we can't risk it at this point, so we're going to actually switch into the Iron Moth here in case he does have the grass coverage, and just kind of try to scout this thing. So we can't risk. I think Iron Moth is actually more expendable than Gastrodon, believe it or not. So we're going to take a chance here, and we're going to switch into the Iron Moth, see what he wants to do. We take the Stealth Rock damage, and he is going to, we get the Quark Drive to raise our special attack, of course, which is nice, and he is going to go for a Bulk Up, so that's terrifying, obviously. Going to go ahead and give himself an attack and defense increase, so that is obviously bad news. He is going to regain some HP with the leftovers, and then he is going to take some damage from the poison. So we definitely have to hit this thing as hard as possible this turn. After a Bulk Up, there's no question in my mind, so we just go straight for the Dazzling Gleam, no questions asked here. That's what we're going to do, as we definitely outspeed with the Scarf Dazzling Gleam with the Quark Drive boost. Not nearly enough to take this thing out, unfortunately. He goes for the Rage Fist in return. How much damage is it doing? Enough to take us out. So we are going to go down there, and that is going to knock us down to 5. So that is unfortunate. We lose the Iron Moth as he gets HP with the leftovers and takes poison damage. He's got Bulk Up and Rage Fist. So we're in a little bit of an awkward situation right now because we need to get rid of this thing. Obviously, we need to get rid of this thing. There's only one way that we can guaranteed get rid of this thing, and that is to go ahead and come in with our Hawlucha. Now, I really didn't want to do Hawlucha this early, but I feel like we have no choice because while Espathra theoretically could outspeed him, we do not have speed investment in Espathra, which means that if he has speed investment on the Annihilate, he's going to outspeed. Now, based on how he took that attack, he may not, but I cannot risk that at this point. So we're going to make the safe play and go to Hawlucha here. Absolutely can't risk it because Espathra will go down otherwise. So we come in with the Hawlucha, take the rocks. Going to go ahead and pop our Electric Seed, which is going to give us that defense increase, which is nice. Now, unfortunately, obviously on Burden activates, doubles our speed, all that good stuff, doubles the power of our acrobatics. So we obviously just have to go for the acrobatics here. We can't play around with this thing. So that's exactly what we're going to do, as he does in fact switch, so that's interesting. We could have actually set up there, so he's going to switch into the Garchomp, so that's interesting. So that thing's coming in. It is going to get poisoned off the Toxic Spikes, which is nice. Now, he also going to take that Stealth Rock damage, as we are going to go for the Acrobatics. Going to do solid damage to this thing. We are going to take Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet damage as well, which is unfortunate, as he takes some poison damage. So I think what we're going to do here, we have a big decision to make on our hands right now, because obviously we're kind of all in with Hawlucha at this point. It's the only Terra Captain we have this week. I'm thinking our best chance here is to actually go ahead and pop our Terra, terastallizing into a Fairy type, as he may very well be going for that Dragon move. It would give us the Dragon immunity, and then we go for the Swords Dance to try and get the attack boost. I think that's our best bet right now. So you know what? I think that's our play right now. I don't see a better option, so we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to go all in on the Hawlucha right now, and hopefully it pays off. So we're going to go ahead and terastallize the Hawlucha into, of course, the Pure Fairy type, gaining a valuable Dragon immunity. Hopefully, if he goes for a Dragon attack, we're really banking on that right now. So we know we're going to outspeed this thing. We go for the Swords Dance, get that +2 physical attack, which is very important. What is he going to go for here? It is going to be the Dragon Tail, so we got the prediction right. Doesn't touch us, and now he takes some poison damage when we are in the driver's seat with Hawlucha right now. So the electricity going to disappear from the battlefield. That's fine. We definitely just go ahead and go for the Terra Blast against this thing, no questions asked. That's exactly what we're going to do. We don't need to take more contact damage, as I don't believe Terra Blast makes contact. So we go for the Terra Blast. Obviously, we outspeed him. Terra Blast Fairy incoming will definitely be more than enough to take the Garchomp out from that range and knock him down to 5. So we are absolutely in the driver's seat right now with Hawlucha. The only X factor that we have in this situation is going to be his Tyranitar as his one and only Terra Captain that he's brought to battle this week. And of course, now is the time that he is going to go ahead and come in with that Tyranitar. So he gets poisoned, obviously, which is great for us, and he is going to take some Stealth Rock damage, as the Sandstream is going to activate to create a Sandstorm. So we have an absolutely seismic decision to make right now. What move do we go for? Now, I am 1,000% convinced that this thing is going to Terra, and I am 1,000% convinced that it is going to Terra into a type that will either have a resistance or an immunity to close combat, to fighting. So we 100% do not do that. If he doesn't Terra, however, Acrobatics won't do much. So I think our only play here is to actually Terra Blast Fairy. I think that's the safest thing we can do. So that's what we're going to do. And so, moment of truth here. He's going to go ahead and terastallize. What type is he going to terastallize into? This could decide the game right here. He's going to terastallize into a Ghost type. I had a feeling. So Terra Ghost Tyranitar is here. We know we're going to outspeed him. Can a +2 Terra Blast Fairy take this thing out is the question. We go for the Terra Blast Fairy. Is it enough to take the Tyranitar out? No, it is not nearly enough to take the Tyranitar out, as he goes for the Thunder Wave, and he actually misses the Thunder Wave in an incredible turn of events for us. So we are both going to take some damage from the sand, and that Thunder Wave miss is absolutely catastrophic for my opponent, absolutely incredible for us, as he gets some HP back with the leftovers and takes some poison damage. So that is insane for us, absolutely insane. We just go for the Acrobatics here. There's no reason not to. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Absolutely incredible turn of events for us. We go for the Acrobatics. Obviously going to be more than enough to take the Tyranitar out and drop him down to 4. So Hawlucha absolutely in the driver's seat right now. We are going to take more chip damage from the Sandstorm, and so we will see if he's got anything in the bank that is going to be able to tank an attack from the Hawlucha. If it's anything, it's going to be the Alomomola, obviously, so he comes in with that thing. Now, there's every chance that he actually could survive an attack from us. So I think I don't want to drop my defenses by going for the close combat. Acrobatics is barely any weaker, so I feel like our best chance here is to acrobatics. So that's exactly what we're going to do. As he goes for the protect, which is interesting, to scout and get another turn of Sandstorm chipped to us. We do obviously acrobatics, so that's not going to do anything. And then we are going to all take some damage from the sand. So he is also going to take some, or get some leftovers recovery as well. And then he is in fact going to take some poison damage as well. So there's no reason to abandon our plan here. We definitely just go ahead and go for the acrobatics again. No reason not to here. Do not want to drop our defenses, so we're just going to acrobatics here. We go for the acrobatics, and it's not quite enough to take this thing out, unfortunately. He goes for the liquidation in return. We can tank it with 26 HP left in the red, which is incredible. We do take some sand damage, which is unfortunate, as he is going to take some sand damage as well. He's going to regain some HP with the leftovers, and then he is going to take some poison damage. Unfortunately, he does just barely survive the poison damage. Now, we can take exactly one more turn of poison damage here on the Hawlucha. How many more turns of Sandstorm are left is the question. There's only one left, okay? So he could have Aqua Jet, actually, but it doesn't matter. We're all in with the Hawlucha, so we're just going to go for the acrobatics again. No reason not to. As he doesn't, he goes for the protect to go ahead and stall out one more turn of sand damage to us. So obviously, protect, we can't do anything to him, as the Sandstorm is actually going to go away, so we don't actually even take the chip damage from the Sandstorm, which is incredible. He is going to regain some HP with the leftovers, and then he is going to take poison damage. And this turn, the poison damage is going to be enough, actually, to finish the Alomomola off and drop him down to 3. So Hawlucha remains intact, remains in the driver's seat, and that's absolutely insane for us. So he's got 3 Pokemon left. He's got the Grimmsnarl, which he does come in with here. He gets poisoned off the Toxic Spikes, and he is going to take some rock damage as well. So no reason for us not to just go for a Terra Blast Fairy here, so that's exactly what we're going to do. He could have priority with a Sucker Punch, I think, or actually I'm not sure if this thing gets Sucker Punch, maybe it doesn't. But there's no reason for us not to just go Terra Blast Fairy. He actually is going to go for the Reflect, so that's going to go ahead and give a physical defense increase to all of his Pokemon for several turns. We go for the Terra Blast Fairy here. Is it enough through the Reflect to take this thing out? And it is enough through the Reflect to go ahead and get rid of that Grimmsnarl and knock him down to 2 Pokemon. So Hawlucha absolutely putting in the work here for us. So he's got 2 Pokemon left. He's got the Annihilate, which I believe might actually go down to hazards when it comes in, and he's got the Flamigo. So Flamigo is going to come in here. It is going to take the Stealth Rock damage. And here we just go ahead and go for the acrobatics. There's no reason not to. Although maybe there is a reason not to, actually, because actually now I can't imagine he would be Rocky Helmet on this thing. And even if he is, I'm not super worried about that. So we're just going to go ahead and go for the acrobatics. No reason not to. He was already Rocky Helmet on Garchomp. We outspeed, acrobatics incoming. Definitely going to be enough to one-shot the Flamigo from there and drop him down to just 1 Pokemon. So his last Pokemon is going to be the Annihilate. So he's going to go ahead and come in with that. Is it going to... Yes, it does definitely have enough HP to survive the Stealth Rocks, as it does. And so we know we should outspeed here. I don't believe Annihilate gets any sort of priority. So we're just going to go ahead and go for the Terra Blast Fairy here. It doesn't really matter what we go for as long as it's not close combat at this point. So yeah, we definitely outspeed. Terra Blast Fairy incoming, and from that range, there's obviously no way that that Annihilate can take that attack. So the Annihilate goes down, and that is game. Alright, so we are going to win that one 5-0 against Icy Dude. An absolutely seismic victory for us. Absolutely insane. Hawlucha absolutely putting in the work. That, I think, may very well be Hawlucha's finest hour right there, hands down, no questions asked. And that is just absolutely insane for us. So we're going to go ahead and back out here. Okay, so what a roller coaster of a game. But with that, the Philadelphia Pidgeys are going to advance to the semifinals of the BHDL1. I am really excited about that. I'm really pumped up about that. And just what an incredible showing for Hawlucha there. Definitely a power struggle in the beginning of the game, but Hawlucha able to get in at just the right time. Obviously, we had luck on our side as well here with the Thunder Wave miss. That was absolutely huge, but regardless, I am very, very happy to get the win here, and I'm very happy that the Philadelphia Pidgeys will be moving on to the semifinals of the BHDL1. Fly, Pidgeys, fly. So, of course, I'm going to leave it there for now on this video, and we're going to go ahead and come back with a weekly recap and preview video since we are advancing into the semifinals. So we're going to do that next time as per the usual. But that'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.